Hey, thanks so much for stopping by the YouTube channel of the Tech Geeks. We're a group of professionals based across Australia, New Zealand and the UK who love finding solutions for our customers. What I like to do each month, and we're here in February 2026, is just give you a roundup of where I think the market is for the products that we sell, which is man around home and business Wi-Fi, long-range Wi-Fi, networking, cybersecurity and camera security, CCTV and door entry systems. So I'd like to just give you a review of where some of those main manufacturers are at. But what I'd just like to do is give you one that I think is actually going to affect our whole market. There is this saying, when was the best time to upgrade your computer? That was in 2025, maybe the end of 2024. When is my last chance? Probably right now. When will be the next maybe cost-effective time? And these are only my rough predictions. I think it will be 2027, 2028, depending on what you're wanting from that. Why? Because we're seeing a massive advance in AI that requires a lot more processing power, storage, and RAM. That you think, well, why does that affect wireless? Why does that affect networking and all those type of things? Well, every network switch we have has RAM in it to store some of the functions that it's actually going to be doing. It has a CPU in it as well. When we start thinking about, well, we want AI, we want person recognition and vehicle recognition and number plate recognition in, say, our CCTV cameras, well, that is actually going to revolve a whole load more RAM and a faster CPU and to a certain extent, some level of onboard storage as well. We're already seeing RAM prices escalate in that 50 to 100% markup. We're also talking to some manufacturers already who are going to start seeing, they reckon March and April, some big changes in their pricing. So I just want you to bear that in mind. If you're looking for storage, literal hard drives, go hunt now because they're going to, some of them, I know some of the bigger hard drives, I've seen lead times in 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, and some manufacturers are a year away. Smaller ones where there's supply, generally, I would say go and get what you can now. Then budget for what you might have in price increases in this coming time. So let's just run through some of those manufacturers that we generally carry and where we see that supply maybe hitting those. So let's start with Ubiquiti. Ubiquiti keep releasing a whole lot of more products. We're here at the beginning of the year. We've got some things like the Ubiquiti travel router that sells out pretty much every single day that we have those. We've got the G6 entry. A Pro model was meant to be out in January. That's been pushed to March now. We have got the 180 camera. We've got a multi-view camera coming out shortly as well. There's some great new products coming up, but I do think that those are going to start hitting that manufacturing process that I've talked about and probably, I think, in due course start to see some pricing increase. So on those new items, I suggest you pre-order. Always the thing with Ubiquiti, pre-order. And as soon as we have stock, we normally get that into Brisbane about 14 to 21 days after we get stock. So generally, even things like the Unified Travel Router, we have those in every week. They're just all sold out before we even get to ship them out to customers. So get in early is my word on that one, and that should sustain you through. Just be aware, I do think over the coming months we're going to see some price increases. Things like TP-Link. TP-Link are exactly the same. I think we're going to see price increases in their Armada switches in due course. Due to the things that I've talked about, but generally supply is pretty good, but you do need to plan ahead. I do think some of this stock is going to start drying up as the market tries to work out what prices people can aim at. So obviously do remember we've got the Insight range of cameras. Those are the ones with metal chassis. We generally have those in stock. We're just not allowed to show the amount of stock that we have. So do come and talk to us about price and availability. They've got some great solar panels there as well that might be worthwhile looking at that you can hang multiple cameras off. So that whole Vigi range is something that's worthwhile probably spending a little bit of time looking at. Rugi again, pretty good supply. We had a good refresh at the end of last year. So we've got plenty of stock running around of that. Those are probably our main providers. Again, D-Link and Dratec turn around fairly quickly, but it's good stock. A lot of that is in country here, which helps as well. Then maybe we think about some of those CCTV camera providers. Well, let's just jump back to Ubiquiti. Again, new cameras, but I think we will start to see stock of those start to dry up or some price increases to get in there early. Reolink, really popular. We've got a whole bunch of new products coming through on those, so just watch those. Great new features coming in, easy to use and obviously extremely competitive price point there as well. Obviously TP-Link, just need to allow yourself a little bit of delivery time specifically as we move forward. Same with all of those networking switches, just allow yourself time across all of the brands. Cybersecurity obviously is quite CPU and RAM heavy, and some of those manufacturers like Sophos have hard drives in there, so do allow yourself some time. We're seeing a great uptake in that Sophos desktop Gen 2 range, so that's the XGS 88, 108, 118, 128, 138. Great performance in those, over a gigabit a second with all services turned on there when we test that with the 138. So a great product range to buy into, generally in stock, if not again about 14 days. Sonic Wall, we've seen a whole new raft of units come through, the 280, 380, 480 I think it is, and 680. Again, supply is generally about 10 to 14 days on those, so do again just allow that in your management. Fortinet is shifting pretty quickly as that new G series comes through. Just be aware and just give yourself time. Again, probably some of those have pushed out a little bit longer to that 21 days, but generally those smaller units are still sitting there, either plenty in stock, and we show that directly on our website, thetechgeeks.com, or allow 14 to 21 days. Then we've got WatchGuard, again, a new range come through with them. They've got some great new products coming in that software side. Generally, a massive availability of stock here in Australia, and you can probably get one of those within a couple of days without any issues at all. And then obviously we've got the software, which is obviously fully available. We've got things like Trend, Bitdefender, Huntress, ESIT, WatchGuard in there, Sophos in there as well for all endpoint protection, patch management, MFA, multi-factor authentication. So do get in contact with us if you want specific requirements around those. So hopefully that's just given you a quick rundown of where I think the network is and the supply chain. So we'll just allow a little bit of long-term prediction there where we see the supply chain or the price increase. So do budget for that. But hopefully you'll find some gold around our YouTube channel. So please do subscribe and stay up to date.